Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Peaceful Oasis Live. I am David.
And I'm Tamara. The music you are going to hear from our guests, Debbi Dachinger and Rowe, is going to ignite your soul. We promise, so don't go away.
The following program is presented by Loving Meditations.
Unwind and transform your mind with Peaceful Oasis Live, the concert series hosted by Tamara Green and David Dachinger of Loving Meditations. Masters of mindfulness, music, and storytelling transport you into a state of deep relaxation through soulful conversations, calming meditations, and expansive music, all brought to you live. View past episodes and sign up to get upcoming events and inspirations delivered to your inbox at peacefuloasislive.com. We appreciate you, our viewers, supporting our mission for peace and calm. And we're back. Lions of Lyra is a medicine music band inspired by a collection of healing, spiritual connecting, love activating, and sacred music. Band members Debbi Dachinger and Rowe have a unique brand of entertainment which fuses beautiful conscious music that ignites your soul and uplifts your spirit. So true. Their music is intended to induce a heart and mind opening journey. Debbi sings in multiple languages including Lakota, Spanish, French, and English. She is a graduate of USC Theater Arts and with a background in Broadway musicals, while Rob is a classical trained guitarist and graduate of Musicians Institute in Hollywood. Let's bring on Debbi and Rob. Hello.
Hi. It's great to be here.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's so good to have you guys. And little coincidence in the last name, Debbi Dachinger, David Dachinger.
That's my brother. That's my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
There's not too many pages in the phone book filled with that name.
Not too many. And it's because of you, wonderful Debbi, my roommate from USC, where I met my wonderful husband. So thank you.
Pleasure. Win-win for everybody, right? My best friend gets to be my sister-in-law too.
Oh, me too. Do you remember when I would say, Debbi, this is before I met David, wow, I love your last name, Debbi Dachinger. Wow. God, Tamara Dachinger. What a cool name that would be, right? And then I'm...
lo and behold,
it was
here
prophetic.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know. So true. I was going to say, wow, what a manifestor I am. So, wow, your music is quite inspiring. And Debbi, you, for 13 years, you weren't singing. What brought your singing back?
Yeah, so I used to professionally sing when I was on Broadway and then with a jazz band and then with a big band. And I got into radio and then subsequently I got into podcasting. And at some point when I started writing books, I realized this is going to be my life. Like I really felt called there. And I had to make a hard choice. There was just so much of me to go around. So I chose to release the singing. I left my band and so forth. It was big, right? But at the same time, it was perfect and I had no regrets. And then I had a big event occur, very unexpected, and it brought back the notion of, singing, whatever happened to singing? And it was, in fact, during lockdown, the COVID lockdown, that Rob and I were at a special spiritual ceremony, and it wasn't even about that. It was no kind of exploration, but the truth is, just in my peace, if you will, for Peaceful Oasis, it's perfect. I was in a great sense of peace, a bit examining my life and thinking about a few things I wanted to change, or like you guys, I felt really disconnected from you, and that was hard on me, and I thought, I need to make this a thing, start doing regular Zooms and connect more, and bing, sing again. So that's how I got here.
And, throughout our 4 years that we were living together, it was your music that I loved going to the Broadway shows that you would do during drama club and all your singing. It was just so delightful. So really, it is so special. Your voice is so special, as everybody will hear. And it's so good that you're singing again. I'm so happy about that.
And if I just want to say, it's actually very apropos, Tamara, because you and David are two of the few people on the planet and in my life who even know me as a singer. Oh. Most of the people who know me in the last decade have she's a coach, she's a speaker, she's an author. They have no sense of this. So the fact that you can bridge that memory is really meaningful to me.
Yeah, well, we knew each other when we were really young. And speaking of coach, you are a special kind of coach, and you certainly helped David and I with, you coached us through our book and helped us become a best-selling author. Do you want to just say a little something about your coaching?
Well, so many people have a book inside of them, and the big question is what stops you? Because 85% of people who want to write a book never will. And that is where I come in. So people come to me generally at the beginning of the process, and I guide them all the way through, not only to write a book, but to write a page turner. There's also the component at the end where I take books to a guaranteed international bestseller. And there are those people who come who have mostly written their book, but it's like, how do I publish? Where do I format? How do I finish my book? And they'll come in and they'll get some private coaching. So I do groups, I do also privates. I don't grope my groups though.
No groping.
Sure. That would be very bad.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
That's why everyone loves my classes.
All right. Too bad they're virtual now.
Well, we have a clip that shows one of the books you've recently worked on, a compilation. Let's take a look at it. Collaboration, that seems like such a wonderful way to do things these days. The synergy of it, working with other brilliant minds. Sometimes it's just brings us to a whole other level. Is that kind of the experience that you had?
And beyond. Like, I had no idea that I would start as a side adjunct offering anthologies, which is basically a theme-based book, and every author writes a different chapter. And people love the experience. They don't have to write a whole book, right? But they get to have the start to finish experience. And I've been loving it. And actually, my books just started winning, our books, the collaboration books, just started winning the Golden E-Lit Book Award. And so they started getting awards as well as being bestsellers. And I'm just thrilled because the people I get to work with, I'm very honored by the caliber of person who is like, comes aboard. Very meaningful. So yeah, collaboration, it's great.
And some of those, actually, everybody that's collaborated on that book with you has either been a guest with us on this show or will be in the near future. So we're really looking forward to talking to them as well. And so you're definitely surrounded by some powerful, amazing people.
Yes.
So Rob, how about your music journey? where did it begin, and did it have a pause like Debbi's, and how did it pick up again to where you are now?
Well, it's been a long and interesting road. It started when I was about 11, and somebody had this cheap Harmony Stella guitar lying around in the house. One of those ones that's black with a red sunburst on it. I don't know if you remember those. You could get them at Thrifty or something like that. And I started just kind of plinking on it, and my parents, bless them, they were amazing parents in the sense that they supported whatever my brother and I wanted to do, especially musically. And they ended up hooking me up with guitar lessons, and took guitar lessons for a couple of years. And I actually had the opportunity to study with a really, really amazing jazz guitarist named Rex Gallion, who had a studio up in the Central Coast, and eventually ended up going to Musicians Institute in Hollywood at about the age of 19 or 20. So out of that, I had developed a strong affinity for the big hair rock phenomenon of the 1980s, Rush, Rainbow, Iron Maiden,
pictures.
Led Zeppelin, Queen, all of that. And I knew I was taking a risk, but I gave it my shot. Despite the advice of my parents strongly admonishing me to go to college and get something to quote unquote fall back on, I neglected to take their advice, and I went the rock and roll path. And I had enough success to get some satisfaction out of it, and eventually realized, okay, well, I'm not ready to do a real job yet. I'm gonna have to do something else. So eventually ended up doing some classical, playing at restaurants, happy hours, that sort of thing, and eventually did some new age music. And that was back the early days of when that phenomenon kind of swept the country. So I had the whole experience of the synthesizer realm and classical guitar realm, and then realized, okay, I've already got a job. I really don't need a second job. So I kind of focused on more of the career thing for a couple of decades, and I would pick it up and plink around from time to time, and sometimes relearn some of my old classical songs. And then I guess it was about a year and a half ago, I realized I really just don't want to leave this behind. And I had hooked up with an old friend from back, maybe about 30 years ago, and he had the great kindness to actually give me a very nice guitar that he had. And, in honoring that gift, I really set myself, regaining my previous level of expertise and technique. And still not quite there, but almost. So, I'm still practicing a lot and getting a lot of enjoyment out of it, and have the good fortune to be working with this amazing vocalist here who has perfect pitch, perfect rhythm, great memory for songs. And, it's been a very wonderful road so far, and I hope it continues on into the future.
That's amazing. And it's so cool to have it come back in your life like that and be such an integral part. We would love to hear you guys play. Yeah, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and hear Blessed We Are.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond
Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for all life, for the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 ooh. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 ooh. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for the earth, for the ones yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for all life, for the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 ooh. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 you. Ay 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 ooh. Oh, remember. Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. We hold a prayer for all life, for the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember our song.
Peaceful Oasis Live is on the E360 TV app. Watch us live on the Health and Wellness channel and catch our past episodes on your favorite smart device by downloading the E360 TV app from the App Store. And we're back.
Yes, Debbi and Rob, Lions of Lyra. And I have to tell you guys, wow, between Rob, your amazing guitar playing, and Debbi, your voice. Oh, it's so good to hear it after all these years. And David's wooden flute. It was beautiful. Really.
What a
beautiful.
contribution. Yeah, thank you.
It was fun to do that long distance, right? 3,000 miles away, but
Man,
God
it
bless
works.
technology. Yep.
Absolutely. You know, there really is something that upliftment of spirit. I'm telling you, things really opened up. It was interesting. I was really feeling things open up in my head and in my heart. So it leads me to my next question about, music as medicine and how it can help us heal. So, Debbie, do you mind talking about that a little bit?
Music as medicine is so powerful. I think everybody knows that at some point in their life, if they ever felt down and they listened to a song, it could immediately bring them up, or there could be a song that was expressing their feelings and allow them to feel their feelings with greater ease. So it creates a lot of highs and lows. I think we all know, hopefully scientifically by now it's been proven what music, the sound literally can do to heal us. And this is why we have singing bowls and other instruments. It elicits something. So I never thought I would be doing this as a healing modality, but it really resonates with me, I have to say, because the spiritual ceremonies that Rob and I would go to, we would hear music, and it's the first time I heard this style of music, which I didn't realize was so relevant out there with 20 and 30-year-olds, like really huge. Is a big listenership for this. And we loved it. We were very taken with it. And then we just decided to play with it. Now it's become our repertoire in all these languages. So essentially what I can tell you, much less than my words or what I think is my knowledge, when we have performed, recently, for instance, we've done gigs and parties and events online, in person, and so forth. And we did a party. And everybody just sat down and listened to us. And it was incredible, the outpouring of love, really moving. What people came, especially men, by the way, very interesting, who would come up and say, that changed me, that shifted me. I had somebody who was an archaeologist who had dug up a piece of a meteor and was so kind to give me this as a gift for what he felt had happened to him. So people experience it as very meditative, but also as, even if their eyes are open, it definitely alters them. And that gives me like really great pleasure to know that I'm a part of that for anybody. How about you? How is medicine for music for you?
Well, there's a few things around that. One is an entirely different type of experience playing, a concert or a backyard barbecue or something like that, as opposed to playing for even a much smaller group of people who are very, very much paying close attention to what you're doing as something to induce a state of mind more aligned with divinity, if you will. So there's almost more responsibility in that, even playing for 20 people in that state of mind, because you're almost connecting directly with their consciousness. It's almost like a straight line from my hands as a guitar player to the minds and the subconscious of the people who are out there on their yoga mats. And for me personally, it's really become a form of prayer. And there's something very timeless about vibrating wood and vibrating strings, whether it's drumming. People have drummed around the fires and shared their stories from the hunt for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. And to take part in that today with the technology that we have, we're blending a lot of things, because we still have the natural vibration of the strings and the wood, which to me, it seems like a very, very holy thing. You're really, I think, connecting to real divine energy with that. And then, as you probably noticed in the song, I've carefully crafted a sound that involves some electronics, with still keeping the natural sound of the guitar. But what I've tried to do has been my intention to make it sound a little more angelic, a little more like, the music of the heavens, if you will, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what we're striving for. And I think to use the combination of the natural vibration of the wood of an acoustic guitar and the natural human voice, and then apply a little bit of modern technology to it. We hope that it creates an overall sound experience that really touches people, and we've had a lot of feedback that it does, that it helps people connect with their own spirituality. So it's been very rewarding.
And here's some more feedback. It works. It works great.
Thank you, thank you.
And we're looking forward to hearing your second song in a little bit. But Rob, can you share with us a little bit about your personal cancer journey? I know a lot of our listeners are from the world of cancer as patients or caregivers or as survivors of cancer or even healthcare providers. What was your experience?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer back in 2011, and I went the usual route of getting advice of urologists and oncologists of I really need to have surgery or really need to do the radiation treatments and all of that, and I just didn't buy it, and reason I didn't buy it was because basically of my own spiritual path. I've kept hearing from a lot of sources around the conscious community that physical ailments are connected to emotional dysfunction in some way, somehow, and that this has been supported by so many people that I admire that I've heard this from. So it just occurred to me, this is something that I have control over as an individual. So I just really set about a journey of the intention to really clean up my inner game and really be totally accountable in how I dealt with other human beings and how I dealt with my own inner thought processes and how I dealt with the environment that I live in and how I dealt with the human experience in general. And what the conclusion I've come to, might be a little bit on a tangent, but it very closely relates to your question there. And I have come, after kind of a long and windy road along this kind of path, I've come to the realization that consciousness is everywhere. Even down to the molecular level, there's consciousness in everything from a blade of grass to a granite mountain to a river to a waterfall. And I've come to believe personally that in every place that consciousness exists, the capacity to give and receive love exists. So I just try to stay focused on that and just building up that living in love. I don't want to sound like 1960s hippie, but they were really onto something. Love really is the answer. Somebody had it right. Even back in 1967, the Haight-Ashbury people who were saying it, they had it right. Love is the key. Love is the answer. And to immerse yourself in that world, I feel that there's really nothing that can go wrong. So I just feel that the deeper I can drink from that well as I go through the human experience, cancer is going to be the least of my worries.
And you did a lot, didn't you, as well? You changed your food and the way you ate, and you did a whole.
Yeah, I read all the books. I mean, you can go on Amazon and find any one of 100 books of I cured cancer from doing this or doing that, and cancer diets, all this kind of stuff. It's all a lot of very good information out there. Yeah, so I read all that stuff, applied all that, but I think all of that pales to the inner game. I think it's really about what's going on in your heart and in your mind.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I'm so with you on this, Rob. And speaking of love, the two of you are a beautiful couple. And so how has your music playing together, creating Lions of Lyra, enhanced your relationship?
Well, there's definitely an increase in the hotness factor, that's for sure.
Yay.
He always says he gets to be with his singer. It's like, so after we rehearse, it's very nice. But
it's nice to be each other's own groupie.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
It's amazing along this subject, medicine, music as medicine. It's like, I even feel like for us together, it's medicine. It's like another way, like another language for us to express. And it is amazing. You guys can probably testify. You do a lot of work together. We are now working together. And it's, to just really have such respect for another human being and care and collaboration together, and be able to guide each other. Sometimes we need to step in for each other, but I would say the ultimate, I'm so happy when we do a gig and we're on stage, and it's amazing. I feel the synergy with Rob, and he's a beast. I just want to say what he's willing to do, how much he's willing to rehearse, what he wants to take on, where he's willing to go. It's very good for me. I can be a tiny bit more reticent with that because I've done that world already, but I have such utmost respect that he is so really adamant about this is our path, and getting us out there and having us put in the work to do it. Like we're going on vacation. He's like, we're bringing the instruments.
We're going on the road.
That's right.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing the next track, so we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Oso Blanco.
The doctor told me the answer, and now my head is spinning. He said I'm living with cancer, and my journey is just beginning. I'm stressed out and afraid. I have cried and I have prayed. Time to quiet my mind and be still. Take a deep breath and just chill. I put in my earbuds and decompress. Touch play on the app to ease my stress. I'm choosing peaceful relaxation with loving meditations. I'm loving meditations.
En este camino rumbo a la selva me he encontrado un paraíso sonajero. En este camino rumbo a la selva me he encontrado un paraíso sonajero que inspirado en abuela en águila encontró en su corazón. Este canto que brota de alma aquí ahora. Pajarito sonajero, encontraste la visión a un oso blanco con alas de candor y mirada de jaguar. Pajarito sonajero, encontraste la visión a un oso blanco con alas de candor y mirada de jaguar. Entre las asmariri, las plumas de águila y de candor, donde llueven las gotas de cielo que hoy fecundan la semilla. Entre las asmariri, las plumas de águila y de candor, donde llueven las gotas de cielo que hoy fecundan la semilla. encontrado un paraíso sonajero que inspirado el vuelo en águila encontró en su corazón este canto que brota de alma guía ahora. Pajarito sonajero, encontraste la visión a un oso blanco con alas de candor y mirada de jaguar. Entre las asmarirí, las plumas de águila y de candor, donde llueve las gotas de cielo que hoy fecunde la semilla. Entre las asmarirí, las plumas de águila y de candor, donde llueve las gotas de cielo que hoy fecunde la semilla. En este camino rumbo a la selva me he encontrado un paraíso sonajero.
And we're back with Debbie and Rob, Lions of Lyra. Woof. So I'm very curious about the Spanish. Wow, the Spanish. So tell us, I've got so many questions right now, but Spanish does what in terms of music as medicine?
The words, it's so funny. If you look at the songs as they're written in Spanish, for instance, and then you have them translated to English, wah, 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 wah. It's like it does not read. And yet, for instance, the song you just heard, Oso Blanco, means white bear. And the song is about a mariri, this vision, this spiritual experience and a vision that somebody sees of a white bear with condor wings and the look of a jaguar. And they go on a whole experience around this. But all the songs, they elicit so much beauty and passion in their words. Even the Lakota, that we sing, it's so on purpose and it is so perfect. I think language, much like music as a language, has its own vibration. And we can feel that through the songs. So,
And I had to look up Lakota. That's Sioux. You speak Sioux? Sioux Indian? Or you sing it?
The Spanish in particular has a very deep cultural connection. So a lot of the teachings that are so valuable, worldwide these days, come out of Latin America and come out of tribes in the Amazon, tribes in Mexico, and these beliefs. I don't even call it belief systems. It sounds like it's something fake. These ways of living, or I guess I should say, have a very deep connection to nature, and they recognize. I think what I was talking a little bit about earlier, the consciousness that is everywhere. So there's a lot of these songs are honoring water. They're honoring forests.
nature.
And they're honoring flowers, birds, and a lot of these things. If they were done in English, they might end up sounding a little bit childish. But the Spanish language just lends itself to expressing beauty in a childlike, a very honest, very down to earth way. And we, even though we may not know all of the words as we're listening to. We've learned a lot of Spanish from doing these songs, but there's definitely a feel that is just unmistakable that these songs connect you with as far as their shamanistic roots.
Interesting. Now, how do people respond when they're hearing these songs? Like, what kind of, you've kind of talked about the settings and a little bit of the genesis of it, but what kind of response are you getting from people who are hearing you play?
It's been very humbling in the sense that, people tell us that, it's been very deepening to their, meditation type experience or whatever might be going on in the, type of environments that we play in. Even if it's a party, the last party we played, we actually took a pause and everybody kind of got out of their yoga mats and laid down on the floor or sat cross-legged for a little while just to kind of take a break from the festivities. And there was, just a lot of feedback that what we did really helped people connect with their inner selves and connect with divinity, connect with nature. So it's been extremely rewarding in that regard.
And also, we're playing around. Look, you can even see we have good response here, even the animal kingdom. And we got 3 of them too, 3 of our dogs. This one's Oliver. But yeah, hi Oliver. Yeah, he's liking this. We have been playing with other ways to allow people to experience peace in that meditative state and to access an awareness or consciousness. For instance, Rob plays, because of his classical background, he plays these amazing songs. And so he plays his song and I recite Rumi, for instance, over the song. And of course, anyone who knows Rumi, it's like, could you get more ethereal? So it's so gorgeous and touching. And the other thing we've played with is, for instance, a song that Rob plays, which is Cathedral, for those who know this piece. It's just sumptuous and stunning. And he plays it, and we started experimenting with me singing. So not words, but literally just allowing through me just the energy to complement the notes that he's playing, which is very interesting and sometimes difficult song to follow because at times it gets really, I used to play guitar, so it gets really, really fast.
Never before done in the history of the world, by the way.
Yeah.
At least to the best of our knowledge.
Breaking new ground all the time.
You heard it here first, folks.
Rob was talking about love, right? And it's this inner experience. And what we're feeling when you guys are playing and singing together is like this transmission of love. It's just so cool. That's really what it is, isn't it? Just like nature, right? Just like nature. It's always a transmission of love when you really stop and be present with nature too.
Yeah,
Animals.
absolutely. Every animal, every nature piece, every moment, I think, is our expression of love with one another, our connection together as love. And the music, I feel so honored to sing some of those songs and be able to put that out to the world. So I have to say, yes, I think the whole thing, and hopefully what we set up, I know I hold consciousness of that in my connection, in my allowing out. And, certainly Rob too, because boy, he's done some solos before that just have been gorgeous.
Wow. You know what I'm kind of, I'm actually really excited having this kind of aha right now. Here we are. Could you ever imagine back when we first met that we would be here all these years later and just like jamming together and having this amazing live performance together? It's so cool.
How lucky are we? Oh my God. It's always at the top of my gratitude list that I have the two of you and I have the four of us. Thank you for saying that. It's really, it is incredible. And no, I wouldn't have guessed, but I would have been just as happy then if you told me how great it would all turn out.
Oh my gosh. And what a journey we've all been on in this time. But love you guys so much. And please tell everybody how, maybe on social media or whatever, how can they find your amazing music, or how can they contact you for performances?
Right now, our music is on my YouTube channel, so we are going to separate it out at some point, but very simple, youtube.com/Debbi Dachinger. My website, if you want to contact me, is Debbi Dachinger. There's a contact form, and DebbiDachinger.com. And then Instagram, of course. We love hearing from people, so please just know we literally read everything and respond. So if you do want to contact us, please do. And I just want to follow up because I feel like it's so important because of the subject for all the amazing doctors and caretakers and patients and so forth, people who love people who may have cancer, that Rob today, his blood tests have been amazing. Like, it's incredible. It took a long time, just so you know, the journey. And for a while, it was like, not good numbers. But he really has done the work. He did follow his path. It may not be everybody's path, but just to give people hope and a lot of love for the journey you're going on.
Oh, yay, Rob. That's the PSA number, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the PSA number.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Oh, yay. Yay, that is such good news.
Excellent news.
Fantastic. Wow. So there really, really is healing in love and music and family and nature.
Absolutely.
So this has been such a blessing to have you guys on and to play together. So please tell us you'll come back at some point.
Anytime. And what an amazing platform, what you guys have created. It's clear your heart and soul and how cancer has changed you and what you're giving back to the world. It's so amazing when somebody's wound, like cancer, becomes your beautiful gift and message out to the world. So I really honor you both.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's, yes, it is amazing to think that we've come all this way from back in that moment in L.A. and the dorm room, but life is unpredictable and amazing all at the same time. So here we are. And thank you for joining us. This was really, really a lot of fun.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Absolute
love you
pleasure.
guys.
Anytime.
We love
Thanks for
you
having us.
too.
Sure.
Bye.
My My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show that shares the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. Today, we have an exciting show.
The definition I use for faith is that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. And so that's really what I see this faith journey as, is an opportunity for us to connect with that source, to be able to trust that source, to be able to be real with that source. I invite you to think about what are the next questions that you need to ask for you, for your family. What are next steps for you as you face the journey of cancer? The answers are always there, but it's about being open and willing to listen to what the sacred is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to embark upon a journey away from darkness and into the light, and into possibilities and opportunities. Your future is just waiting for you to create it and to color it with strength, joy, and fulfillment. I invite you to close your eyes now and settle in for a little while. This place is so vibrant, so alive, so filled with energy. You feel invigorated, strong, and well. In fact, this is the best you've ever felt in your entire life. You realize that as soon as you made the decision to find healing and empowerment, you began to be healed and empowered. And in that moment that you made that decision, you changed your vibrational frequency, resetting it to welcome, accept, and appreciate the healing and empowerment that you have now.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
What a journey.
Yeah.
Thank you. I truly believe everything that I've experienced has been my education so that I can do this work and make a difference for people.
Have you guys ever seen that when you're in fear or when you're anxiety, you don't really get great ideas? Did you notice that? By definition, what anxiety is, projecting a future that you don't know and acting now like it's real. We're making up stories about the future. The only thing that has power is now. There's just a knowing that transcends anything you could say or do to show people that it is possible. Just bringing your attention to all the people in the world that right now are asking for the answer that you're embodying, called I can be the eye in the storm. Imagine that you are their answer, and that they become someone else's answer. Right now is the only place I can get an instinct that might do something or call me to action that would make a difference.